Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from Alex Merced Coder, and welcome to the next part of our Angular tutorial. So basically, we're going to be in the app.component.typescript file or .ts file, because again, here's the class for our app, which we can use to, well, add variables and functions. So we're going to add the following variables. We're going to add toggle. Actually, I'm going to delete this. Don't need that. We're going to add a variable called toggle, and we're going to make it equals true. Because the first thing I want to show you is a couple different directives. Directives are basic directions that you're giving Angular, and you generally attach them to HTML tags. So the first one we're going to talk about is ngIf. Basically what it does, it makes the element conditional. So if toggle, whatever this toggle variable is, and again the toggle variable's defined right here, as long as toggle equals true, this h1 will show up. And again, that hello world is where we showed that variable name. That's also right over here. We'll actually put a real name. So we'll just put hello world u. Okay, so right now, toggle is true. So we'll go here, we'll see hello world is u. Wait for it to re-render. And there you go. Hello world u. Now what I want to do is make a button that is going to toggle that variable. So basically the way you do an on-click, it's a little bit different than if you've used AngularJS. What you're going to do is you put parentheses with the word click. And that goes for any kind of click or any kind of event. Put in parentheses, and it's going to be basically equal, then you put the function. It's going to look on that component to see if that function exists. So this represents on-click. So when this button gets clicked, run this function from your Angular component. So we defined the click me function here. Here I'm just console logging YOLO just to test it out originally. And then here we're toggling the toggle. So by saying this dot toggle equals not this like toggle, it'll always end up being the opposite. So it'll always like flip true to false and false to true. So that's always a neat trick. So that way you don't have to make two functions, a true and a false one. Okay, so save. And now when we go over here, the on-click directive that we added is going to tell that button when I click it to run that function, and that function is going to toggle to false, which then changes the directive that I have on here, and watch what happens. Whoop, it disappears. Oh, it's back. It disappears. It's back. It disappears. Okay? So that's kind of the use of directives. It allows you to kind of take advantage of a lot of the cooler features in Angular. There's a couple more I want to go over before we're done here. Okay, so let's create one more piece of information. Let's create an array. So we'll call this my r equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could call this variable by just basically doing something like this, like my r0. And that'll call the first element of the array. So now I should say my r1 or hello world 1. There you go, hello world 1. Sorry if my voice was a little quiet there. I didn't realize I didn't have my headphones on. Okay, but I think you could probably still hear me. So then the next step is we are going to see if we can iterate that. Okay, so we'll just do a div, and then we're going to use ngFor. This iterates over a variable. So we're going to say, hey, for every number, so num of my array. Okay, and then basically in between these, all it does is print out the num. So essentially what's going to happen is it's going to repeat this div for however many nums are in my array. And then just basically I'm printing that number out. So when I save this, we should just see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, that's not the, here we go. Oh, what happened? It's complaining. Gnome property ngFor. Did I spell it right? ngFor Let's go check the docs, make sure I spelled it right. I think we'll see that right over here on the cheat sheet, which is a very useful quick reference. The cheat sheet. ngFor. Make sure we got that. Here we go. ngFor, that looks right. So let item of list. Okay, I gotta probably include the let. That's probably what it's asking for. Okay, content in the template and users item in the list. Okay. So let's go back to the code. Let's add the word let. Save, and let me just go back and take a look at that one more time. Was there anything else? ngFor, yeah, that's pretty much the way I typed it. ngFor is it lowercase? Oh, that's right. Okay, save. And let's wait for this to re-render. And there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can do that, like if you have like a list of users that you want to list on the screen, you can just use the ngFor to iterate over that list of users and have the same thing appear each time. So, and then if there's certain things you don't want to show up at certain times, you can use the ngIf and different events to toggle them on and off. So you're starting to see the benefits of using Angular already. Okay, we're only really scratching the surface. But it allows you to really kind of create a very robust UI without having to do too much of the crazy sort of DOM or jQuery work you would have to do in the past. So I'll leave it at that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, and ciao.